Well, it's interesting. Even left-wing outlet CNN were forced to report that it's clear the majority of Americans back Donald Trump's deportation policy and want to see every illegal immigrant deported. Let's look at this.
Deport all immigrants who are here illegally, 55% of the New York Times, Marquette 64%, CBS News 57%, ABC News with a slightly different question 56%. So what you're seeing essentially here is a very clear indication that a majority of Americans, in fact, when they're asked this blunt question, which I believe gets at the underlying feelings, do in fact want to deport all immigrants who are here illegally. There's no arguing with these different numbers because they're all essentially the same across 4 different pollsters.
Yet the left are fighting against this.
Yeah, it's amazing Harry Enton can keep his job because he is definitely souring some people's minds over there at CNN, the 17 viewers that essentially are still watching that horrible channel. But I digress. What I would say, though, is this. Those are more than likely registered voters rather than likely voters. So you can actually add 10%, maybe even 12% to all of those numbers. So they're actually even much higher than what's even being reported. Look, the bottom line is this president won this election based on the #1 issue, which was, of course, immigration enforcement and closing down the border. And that is exactly what this president has been able to do in record time, I might add, as well. So the American people are still solidly for immigration enforcement, regardless of what some of these radicals on the left think.
Let's turn to the devastating flooding in Texas. The search for more than 170 people still missing continues as flash floods devastated central Texas, and that search has stretched into a 6th day as the death toll continues to rise. At least 120 people have been confirmed dead, according to local law enforcement. And it is absolutely heartbreaking. Right here in Australia, we're thinking of everyone who's been impacted. What has also made headlines here in Australia is Coast Guard rescue swimmer Scott Ruskin, who is being hailed a hero after his first mission, helping to save the lives of 165 people. And we have to say a huge thank you to Scott, the US military, first responders, and all volunteers, brave Americans who are putting themselves at risk to save others.
Absolutely. Look, the first thing that I will say is my thoughts and prayers go out to all of the victims in Texas. Kerrville was really, really hit bad, more than such other areas, although a lot of areas around Kerrville were hit as well. But, you know, that's just one story. There's multiple stories out there of heroism and patriotism and people just, you know, getting together and helping out their fellow neighbors. You know, they're not doing what FEMA did and looking for signs in the front yard. Okay, they're actually helping these people. They want to make sure that these people are being saved and are being rescued. And you know, there was one story of a young man who saved his entire family and then sadly drowned, but he did save his entire family. So the amount of sacrifice that we are seeing in Texas and elsewhere is just overwhelming. It's just amazing, and it just shows the heart and soul of the people of Texas and people around the country that really, truly do care.
Yeah, absolutely. Flash flooding has also devastated the mountain village of Rodeso and killed at least 3 people in southern New Mexico, triggered by an intense monsoon rains. Rushing floodwaters swept away homes. Some of the vision is unbelievable. Look at this.
Oh, there comes the house.
Oh my gosh, y'all look.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh.
On the other side of that one right there.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that before. Just want to end on a final note. It's official that the UFC has confirmed President Trump's plan to host a fight on the White House grounds to commemorate America's 250th anniversary. The event is expected to draw 20,000 spectators and will be part of a series of celebrations dubbed America 250. Are you excited about this, Josh?
Yeah, I am. I think it's really interesting. You know, I know that I think his name is James Jones. He was the GOAT or the champion of UFC, and he recently retired. And he should come out of retirement for one last fight just for this event. I think that would be spectacular. But look, you know, some people are trying to say, oh, this is the Roman Empire, and this is what happens at the end of the empire and everything else. That's just not the case. We know that President Trump has been a lifelong boxing fan, a lifelong UFC fan. He's good, close friends with Dana White. And so this is just another way to celebrate masculinity, if you will, and the way of the golden age in America. So I think it's going to be a huge, huge hit, and I can't wait to see it.
Josh Bernstein, thank you so much for joining us on Power Hour. Really appreciate it.
Anytime, any topic.